Hi, I'm Gareth Green and welcome to this video all about voice leading. And in fact, this is number 1 of 12 videos on the subject. Each video giving you a different kind of voice leading tips. It's something that many composers ask about. It's kind of, okay, I'm sort of all right writing a melody, I'm all right kind of writing some chords, but what about this whole kind of voice leading things, how the parts interact with each other, where notes are supposed to resolve next, all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to start with this one by suggesting 4 ways in which you can get 2 different voices working together. Obviously, when I'm talking about voices, I might be talking about singers, but I might be talking about 2 instruments. I might even be talking about 1 player on a keyboard instrument. But when you've got 2 different parts, kind of what are your options for how those 2 parts interact with each other? Option 1 is parallel motion. So this is where you have 2 voices moving in the same direction. Have a look and a listen to this first example. Fairly straightforward, isn't it? I've just got maybe the melody doing this, and I want to add a second voice. So I just add a second voice moving in exactly the same direction. Or here's another example, exactly the same thing. And you'll notice that these notes are all a third apart, 3 notes apart. These are all a 6 apart, 6 notes apart, because these are what we call consonant intervals. If I go in seconds, it's all a bit clashy. If I go in sevenths, it's all a bit clashy. So these thirds and 6 are what we call consonant intervals. So if you want to write a melody and then think, would a second voice work a third below it or a third above it? Or you write a melody and say, would a second voice work a 6 below it or a 6 above it? That's a very good way to add a second voice. And that's writing a second voice in parallel motion with your first voice. Okay, so that's parallel motion. What's option 2? Option 2 is contrary motion. In other words, 2 voices moving in opposite directions. So have a listen to and have a look at this example. So you see, maybe the melody is this voice at the top. And you see what I'm doing? It starts by coming down the scale, stepping up 1, leaping up 4, stepping back. And the bottom part is kind of mirroring that, doing the opposite. So it's all going in contrary motion. And you can hear that actually that works quite well, doesn't it? Again, you've got to find notes that fit each other, intervals that work, but contrary motion is another very good way of getting 2 voices to interact. Okay, here's the third option, what we call oblique motion. This is where 1 voice stays exactly where it is while the other voice moves. So this is a pretty simple one, isn't it? You might come to the end of your melody and the melody is just sitting on a long note at the end, but the second voice keeps moving. Just to sort of keep things moving to the end of the piece or the end of the song, while 1 voice just stays exactly where it is. So that's oblique motion. What's the 4th one? Similar motion. So this is where both voices are moving in the same direction, but by different intervals. So we started off talking about everybody moving in thirds or moving in 6. Well, this one starts with an octave and then a 5th, then a 3rd, then a 5th, and then a 6th, then a 7th, then a 10th. So all these intervals are different, but you can see as the upper part is moving up, they're moving down. So the lower part is copying that, but all the intervals are changing. So 4 different ways of getting 2 voices to run together. Parallel motion, contrary motion, oblique motion, and similar motion. Well, if you've enjoyed this video and you're into composing and you've got musical ideas that you're good at handling, but you want to kind of turn that into a bigger scale piece, have a look at our course on writing in sonata form. www.mmcourses.co.uk. Click on courses, find composing in sonata form, and apart from learning about sonata form, you will get loads of ideas for developing musical ideas and turning them into a longer structure, something lots of composers want to do. www.mmcourses.co.uk.